And here we are back on Tuesday. So excited to be with all of you. And we have a really special conversation that we're going to have today. I'm really looking forward to. I have a guest that I met back in 1995, and here we are together today. I know we don't want to admit we're that old, but if you are not aware, for all of you today, this is National ALS Month. And if you're not familiar with ALS, not only are you going to learn a little bit about it, but you're going to learn from someone who's truly an extraordinary woman. So with me today as our guest, let me get us all set up here. With me today as our guest is Chanda Brigance, who is a co-founder of the Brigance Brigade Foundation. And I would love to have you just take a few minutes and maybe introduce yourself. I know this all started because of your husband being diagnosed. So maybe you could share that experience and how you started the foundation, please.
Absolutely. Let me first say thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited about this evening. I'm so excited about this program. I'm excited to be sitting here with you and all of your followers and listeners. So, I can't thank you enough for having me be a part of this program. And like as you said earlier, I've been walking this walk going on about 14 years. My husband, OJ Brigance, former football player, he was diagnosed with ALS back in 2007. And we had never heard of ALS. We know nothing about ALS. I mean, we were just like deer in headlights when when we were given the diagnosis. So of course, as anyone, we'll go and try and research and find out what we can find out and learn what we can learn. And one of the things that really stood out to us is that once you're diagnosed with ALS, once a person is diagnosed, they have anywhere from 2 to 5 years to live, after, being diagnosed. So of course, I mean, what is going on? First, we don't know what this is. Two, we're diagnosed with it. And three, now you're telling me 2 to 5 years, so it was a lot. It was a lot, but bless God, it's 14 years later and my husband and I are still together and enjoying life. So, that's a little bit about, the start of the journey. And to fast forward, here we are now. My husband is still with the Baltimore Ravens in the front office, and he's still the senior advisor to player development. And he's still going to work each and every day. But because of the pandemic, as everyone else, we're working from home. So OJ is working from home and still involved. He's still involved. He's still been a part of life. And we're doing what we can do to also bring awareness and to also help others who are walking the same walk who have been diagnosed with ALS. And we're doing that through our Brigance Brigade Foundation, in which OJ and I both founded in 2008. So that's what we've been doing for the last few years.
And just so people can understand, it is amazing. OJ has defied the odds, all the medical odds out there, which is astounding. But a
Yes.
lot of that, my dear, is also the amazing care and support he gets as well. And you smile, but look, it takes a very special person to serve and care for someone the way you do. And I know you've always kind of been drawn to caregiving. And can you share a little bit about your caregiving roles? Because you've had multiple caregiving roles throughout this whole process.
I really have, I wear many hats, but that's okay. It takes a lot of patience. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, it's fine, it's wonderful. No, and if I say that, I'm not being truthful. And I want to be truthful with you and your listeners and your followers and just say, it's not easy. It takes patience. It takes a little digging deep. You're going to find out and discover a lot about yourself, which as I have. And with walking this walk, I've learned more about my husband. My husband has learned more about me. We've grown closer. We have had to, come together, and sometimes we'll hug, we'll cry, we'll laugh. It is a journey. There are peaks and there are valleys in this whole journey. But at the end of the day, one thing that keeps us going is that he's still alive. We're still together, and we still have, every day is another day to be together and to make the best out of the situation that we're in. So being a caregiver is something that it takes time, commitment, patience, love, reaching deep, and just understanding that it's okay to be human and have a day that's just one of those days where you just need a little me time. And so that's important to know too, as a caregiver. Sometimes we have to step away and take a little bit of me time and gather ourselves, take a breath, breathe, and then come back in refreshed. And so being a caregiver is something that is really, it's a unique, position to be in. It's a position where you will find out that it can't be about you. It's not just about you as a caregiver. It's about the person that you're caring for. And then again, and the person that you're caring for will probably also understand that you as a caregiver, you mean something as well. So everyone who's involved is important, because at the end of the day, we all are human, and so it's just really something that is a unique position to be in. And like I said, you'll learn a lot about yourself.
Yes, I'm sure. Now, you said something a minute ago that when you first had this whole hit your family, when OJ was diagnosed, you didn't know what ALS is. And I'm thinking to myself, we should take a second and explain it, because obviously, you and I are familiar with it, but there may be some people who don't know what that is. So maybe before we continue, can you just take a quick second and share what it is and what the progress is that someone goes through?
Okay, well, let me first start by saying I'm no doctor. I did not go to medical school.
There, yeah.
I didn't study any medical books or anything, but the way I can really explain it, to just make it really, really simple, is ALS is the universal name is Lou Gehrig's disease. And as we know, the baseball player, Lou Gehrig, who, had ALS, and that's what the disease is named after. And the disease takes away a person's mobility. So the person may gradually lose the strength in their legs, lifting their arms, speaking, breathing. It affects the lungs. That's why some people are on trachs, like OJ, he's on a trach. It takes the ability away from swallowing as well. So that's why some people are on feeding tubes as well, because they don't have the muscles to push the food down and to be able to swallow. So it takes away the mobility that you and I sort of take for granted. You and I can wake up in the morning, get out of bed, go and brush our teeth and do our morning care, to whereas that someone with ALS, they can't do that on their own. They need help. And so this is something that ALS does. It robs a person of just their life as being able to just do the everyday things that you and I can do. But at the end of the day, their mind is still sharp. Mm-hmm. Their mind is still strong. They can hear well. And I have to say that, because people come up to OJ and they're like, hello. We have to tell them, he can hear fine. I'm so. Nothing's wrong with his memory and his mind. It's just that ALS attacks the mobility and of a person.
Yes, it is remarkable. They're completely mentally and emotionally like that. As a matter of fact, yes. We were chatting. I hadn't seen you and him in a long, long, long time. And I ran into you, and he remembered who I was after all those years. It's funny. It doesn't affect that, thank goodness. Now you have, going back to what we were saying, that sometimes you need me time. You have to balance being super caregiver and helping to run the foundation, and somewhere in the middle of that, take care of yourself, because you're incredibly positive. Every time I see you, you have this smile that lights up an entire room. How do you do that? How do you
bless God for instilling that in me? I can't take any credit for that. Bless God for putting that, that joy in me. And thank God that, as you say, I have not lost it. But at the end of the day, I do have my days, because again, I am human. But I know when I have those days, I know how to pull myself away and step away, and it's okay. It's okay to step away. Like we mentioned earlier, we have to try and take some me time, and we have to purposely, because sometimes we want to help, we want to get this last thing done, and we look up, the whole day have gone, and we haven't had a break, so we have to purposely and mindfully remember to, step away when it gets to be that time where we're tired, we're fatigued, we just need a break. But I do the best I can with being the caregiver and well, the primary caregiver, because we will have other help that may come in and help me, because again, I'm by myself, and like you say, I'm doing many things. We have the foundation, and we have being the caregiver with OJ and his needs and all of that. So um, I have to understand that I'm only one person.
Yes.
Although I may wear many hats, I'm still one person. And so I have to remember that, and I have to understand that it's okay if I need help as well. It's okay if I have to allow, help to come in, and not only just help my husband, but maybe help me by relieving me of, just the responsibility at that time, so I can step away and get some rest. And however that may look, whether it's just to take a nap or just, whatever it may be. But yes, that's extremely important.
And you have incorporated that into the foundation in some way. You have something, the Shanda's, excuse me, I can talk. Shanda's Caregiver Corner, I believe it's called, correct?
Yes, his caregiver corner. Yes.
Hear about that? That would be great.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited about Shanda's Caregiver Corner. It's been around for a while, but we lately sort of woke it up, if I could say. And what we do is we connect with other caregivers, CALs. We call them CALS, CALs, caregivers of people who are living with ALS. So we'll connect with other CALs, caregivers, and we just come together. And again, we're not doctors, we're not nurses, we're not professional people. We're just a group of people that come together. We have the same cause, if I could say, and we're all dealing with the same thing. And we just come together, we share advice with one another, we share suggestions, we share experiences, we share our feelings. We come together, we may have like a little meditation time, or we may have whatever it takes for us to have some me time. And if I tell you, it is amazing, it's wonderful. And I'm not just saying it because it's Shanda's Caregiver Corner. I'm saying it because you meet some amazing people. You're meeting new people, and you're meeting people who are walking the same exact walk, and they understand what you're going through. They understand it. They know exactly what you're saying, even if you don't say it. They know exactly. So we come together, like I said, we laugh, we cry, we ask questions, we give advice to one another. We say, hey, here's a little tip you can use for this. And like I said, whether it's meditation, we'll have a little meditation, or we may do a little yoga class, or just whatever we can do that makes it fun for us. And it takes us away from the world that we are used to living in at that time. And it puts us in this world of familiarity with each other and what we're going through. And we just, believe it or not, we have a good time. It's a fun little world. And so that's what makes Shanda's Caregiver Corner so interesting, exciting, and fun to be a part of.
Well, you're really creating a community for people who are in the same circumstances. And I think it's important whenever, I've never had a family member with ALS, but we're dealing with some other things. We have a family member with dementia. And it's just always, when you're taking care of somebody, it's helpful to know that there's somebody going through what you're going through, who, like you said, feels your pain, laughs your laughs, goes through
Yes.
all of that stuff. It's really amazing. Now, there is no cure currently for ALS.
No.
But you have this incredible foundation. Would you take a second and just share what you guys specifically are doing overall with the foundation, please?
When OJ was first diagnosed and back in 2007, we really realized, we came to realize quickly, that it's really expensive to live with a disease. Yeah. And we found out that living with ALS will cost an individual anywhere from $200,000 to $250,000 per year. Equipment and things are not covered by insurance. This is straight out of pocket. So OJ and I, we said, this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And immediately our minds, our thoughts went to, how can we help others to afford, equipment and machines and all that. It's bad enough that they're going through what they're going through. And now you're telling them they have to pay 200 to 250 grand a year and pile that on top of their diagnosis. So OJ and I came up with the idea, let's help people. How can we help people? How can we raise money? Let's just raise some money, and then later on, that's when the Brigance Brigade was birthed in 2008. We said, let's go ahead, form this 501c3, raise funds and grant, funds to people who are living with ALS and, and to the pals and cows, and just to help them get through there each and every day while we wait on a cure, because it's so much funds and, so many people who are raising money for research. Wonderful. It's great. We want research. We're looking for research. But while we're waiting, these people still are trying to live life to the fullest while they can. So that's where OJ and I in the Brigance Brigade Foundation put our interest in our efforts and our attention into. Let's try and help these people live with dignity each and every day while we wait on this cure to come about, So that's what the Brigance Brigade Foundation does.
That's really incredible, because it's such a difficult thing to go through, and then to have your family be financially devastated while you're trying to do it. Bless
Yes.
your heart for what you're doing. And I know you do some events and things too. You have an event coming up, I believe, as well. Can you talk to us
Yes.
about that a little
May
bit?
23rd, we have our 5.7 run and 1.57 for those of us who want to walk it.
It's all good. It's all good.
So you can walk or run. There's no excuse. Walk or run. We have kids out there. We have families. We have, friends and co-workers, whomever you can pull out there with you, and we can raise funds. We're raising funds for those who are living with ALS, so we can purchase these machines, these wheelchairs, help build ramps onto, people's homes to be able to get in and out of the home, of Hoyer lift to help them get in and out of the wheelchair, in and out of the bed, in-home caregiving, like I was speaking about earlier. It's okay to get someone in to help you, because you're going to need a break. You're going to need help from time to time. It does not mean that you're a bad caregiver or you're bad, or that you're not doing the job. It means that you're being smart and you're finding another way to do it more efficiently as well, by having the in-home care. So this is what the foundation does when we have our signature event in the spring. And that's the 5.7 race and the 1.57 walk. And then in the fall, we have the soiree with OJ. And in the fall, because that's when OJ's birthday, so the theme is OJ's birthday, but we're just coming together. We're having a party. We're having a ball, celebrating OJ, celebrating life, and again, that's a fundraiser as well. So we have two big signature events for the foundation. And then in between, people can donate. They will donate. And, and for anyone who may want to have a third party event, so we welcome and love third party events as well. However, anyone can join us and be a part of just raising funds to help those who are living with ALS.
So this is ALS month, and I know that's why you have the event now. And
yes.
For people who say, okay, well, I want to do that. I want to walk or run or,
yep.
Truck or whatever it is that they want.
Whatever it is.
Whatever form you want to participate.
Whatever, we welcome all.
Is this something where you do it and people sponsor you to walk in it, or how does that work? So if anybody wants to get involved that watches this, they would know how they can help out.
Absolutely. I am going to direct any and everyone to our website, our brigancebrigade.org website. There's a cute little easy button to just push, and you can sign up and register right there. $45 for adults and $10 for kids. Now, when you register, you get a nice t-shirt, runner's t-shirt. You receive a nice memorable medal, and you'll get your pad, your bib as well. So you get all of those things when you register and sign up. And so that way, when you out running and walking or whatever you choose, we encourage people to make videos. Let us see what, how much fun you're having, and let us see who's walking with you, who's running with you. Let us see if you have a competition going on and you have a little camaraderie going on. videotape all of that and send it to us, hashtag us, and just put it on Facebook. Let us know about it. We are really looking for some fun videos this year. So send us your videos and let us know how much fun you had while you were doing it.
Excellent. And while it's ALS month, in addition to the event, is there anything else people can do to support the foundation or let people know about it? Are there any other things that are out there on the table for people to help you?
Exactly. When we talk about the signature event, we'll come out and participate. But we're also trying to encourage people to form teams. So forming a team is, that's really big, that we're looking for, forming teams, getting groups of people together, because the larger the group, the more awareness.
That makes a lot
More participation, right? And so that's really big as well for us too, to form groups and teams and just come together and come out and come together. But other than that, whatever way anyone wants to join, participate, be a part of, donate, sponsorship, corporate sponsorship, even if your company, even if it's your company or something, we encourage any and every way that that you would like to be a part of and participate and help out, because again, these are people who are in need. They are in need. They really are in need. They really are help, because in one day we never know when we ourselves may need someone to come in and help us.
So true. So true. We don't know what'll happen to us or what'll happen to our
We
family.
don't know. We
And
don't know.
it is tough when something comes so unexpected like that,
Yes.
especially, obviously OJ played in the CFL, the NFL. I mean, he was a major athlete, and, you see
Yes.
that happen to people. There's quite a few, obviously a disease is named after somebody who was an athlete, a professional athlete who got it. So let me ask you this, with all the things you got, with all your hats, because you have a closet full of hats this moment, and everything you're doing to, enjoy your life with him, take care of him, run the foundation, et cetera, et cetera. Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years, the foundation? What are your dreams for what's next for you?
I love this question. I love it. I love it. I love it. Something, of course, as you know, we want to see the foundation grow. We want to see the foundation succeed in a positive way and to help more and more people. But in saying that, I really have to say that above all of that, I'd love to see a cure for this thing, a cure for ALS. As much as I love the foundation, I love helping people in this type of way, I would love it even better or even more to see a cure. So that is what I'm hoping to see within the next 5 years, a cure, for ALS. But as far as me personally, I've started writing. I've started writing. I've written a children's book. It's one of 4, and so that's a little hobby I've been doing. The first one is out now. It's called Who Cares, and it's about caregiving, as we were talking about earlier. So that's just a hobby or something I've been doing. So in the next 5 years, hopefully that'll grow, and like I say, just to watch the foundation grow and watch how the awareness get more out there, just the awareness of ALS and the support for ALS.
And they had a few years back, I don't remember, you probably remember what year it was, but they had the whole ice bucket thing that was that went viral on social media. And I think some people learned about ALS because of that.
That was so, if I tell you that was so amazing, I mean, if I tell you that was amazing, that raised millions of dollars and millions of awareness. People who did not know about ALS and had never heard of ALS, now they've heard of it. They may not know every detail about it, but they've heard of it, so that was so helpful, the Ice Bucket Challenge. We've been trying to think of what else we can do that can be fun, since then, but we're still thinking.
That went really viral, and there were celebrities involved in it and everything, which is so great because, social media can be such a powerful thing in a good way or a bad way. And I
But
love,
you know something with that, I do have to say that just been really honest, I do have to say that as much as that was just amazing and wonderful for the awareness and the millions on top of the, I mean, it was like triple digit millions that of dollars that came in. I do have to say, when you have smaller foundations like Brigance Brigade and other smaller ones, um, with us being so small, you know, a lot of the people we help, we really weren't able to really have some of those funds to be able to help who we're helping as well. So as big as it, you know, as it was, you have the smaller foundations who still didn't, you know, we weren't able to receive some of those funds to some of the smaller foundations. So if something else does go on, again, that's why we have to make sure that these smaller foundations are heard of and they're known and they're out there as well, so they can receive some of those funds as well, and to help the people that they're helping with those foundations.
that's really such a powerful point, because you know what you're doing is so important. I mean, I obviously I met you two back in 1994. And shoot, someone's gonna know how old I am in a minute. Okay, but anyway, I met you back in the 90s. They're gonna know how old we both are. What do we do about that? I'm just kidding. But I met you back in the 90s, and I remember, you know, when OJ was healthy and playing and, you know, full-blown professional athlete. And I've watched over the years. And the thing that has really inspired me so much about the two of you is your faith, and
Yeah.
your attitude and your positivity is just unsurpassed. I mean, it's really remarkable. Life has thrown you a huge curveball, and you have turned it into something where you're helping other people. And the gratitude and the kindness that you two have shown for all these years is amazing. And, you know, having been witness to the whole process, I just want to say that in addition to, you know, him being the public figure, that you are highly underrated, my dear. As the woman running the machine of the foundation and taking care of him. And it's remarkable how positive and amazing you are. So if there's anybody else who's watching this and, you know, they have a family member or a friend, is there any advice that you would give them to help them go through their challenges?
Yes. Patience. And it's okay if you get tired. It's okay. It's okay if you get tired. Just know when to step away and take a break, you know, but it's going to take patience. It's going to take, you know, just a little extra understanding, and just paying attention to just this whole journey, you know, because like you say, you just never know how much time you're going to have together. So to, I hate to say enjoy the journey, but enjoy the time that you do have. You know,
Mhm.
because a lot of times we get so caught up in this got to be done and that have to be done. Sometimes we don't take the time to stop and really enjoy the time that we still have with one another. But you know, just understanding that and just applying patience to it all. And remember, we're human. We're human. We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to do everything perfect. We're going to get tired, and it's okay. It's okay to be human while we're walking this journey.
And if somebody wants to join in with the Shanda's caregiver community that you've got
Yes,
in the corner, is that something they find through your website?
absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Leanne, I would invite any and everyone to take a tour of the brigancebrigade.org website. Take a tour of it. It's so informative. You can learn a lot. You'll see a lot. You'll come across things that you probably didn't know, and a lot of your questions will be answered. And if they're not, guess what? There's a phone number on there. Just call our director, Stephanie Shaw, or call Amy, who is there as well and available. The two of those ladies are absolutely amazing and wonderful. Call them, talk to them, ask them any questions. As a matter of fact, they're waiting on everyone and anyone to give them a call if you need to call them. But just take a tour through the brigancebrigade.org website, and I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised.
Excellent. Well, we are excited to support you. Everyone in this group we have here, anything that you can do to support them would be remarkable, just phenomenal people of faith and kindness. And Chanda, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And we're going to post your website off also under the interview. So if somebody didn't catch that, or they're, in the car listening or commuting and listening to this, that we can make sure that they're all squared away. And this is ALS month. So anything we can do to help would be remarkable. And if nothing else, if you have not been touched by having something like this in your family, hopefully it will have you walk away with some extra gratitude today, and also maybe a little pull in your heart to reach out to some families that are struggling. So thank you again. You're just amazing. Really.
Thank you. Thank you. I've had an amazing time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And we will be back next Tuesday, and we look forward to it. Everyone have a safe and healthy week, and make sure you check out that website. Take care.